All right, folks, we are live. Let's get this link out here, shall we? Okay. All right. So, seemed like I'd forgotten one other thing, but let me double check here. StreamYard, pull that over there. In full screen. It looks like we're good to go, folks. So, let's do some football. I am back in town, back in my hometown of Wichita. I actually drove home from 4 a.m. to 7 a.m. But it is good to be back home. I have the day off, and let's do some playoff football. So we've got a rematch of the last game of the season where the 49ers beat the Seahawks. We are coming at you from the great Northwest. Seattle Seahawks 14-2 at home for this NFC wildcard matchup with the San Francisco 49ers. Let me go ahead and let these guys know, FYI, you guys are live. So broadcast. All right. So Seahawks have the first possession here. All right, let me come back out here and make sure we're still on full screen. We are. That's good. So let's get back to our game here. Like you said, opening possession of this one. Seattle comes in 14-2. Rich noticing that a lot of spectators have joined to watch this one, and he wants to know if anybody works in this league. Well, not me, not today. But, even yesterday I was working and managed to broadcast 3 games, so it's all about priorities. We got a deep ball here. DK Metcalf is the target, and it's going to fall incomplete. On 2nd and 21, Coach Crowley dials up the deep ball to DK. Defense makes the play, and it's 3rd and 21 for the Seahawks at their 38. They'll split out in 3 wide receivers, and cautiously, the San Fran defense drops into the dime. I need to connect. There, Mike can't. So if you can hear me, Tom, it's not letting me add you yet based on what we're seeing there. It says you need to turn on your mic or something. And on 3rd and 21, here's a little flat pass to the outside, incomplete. Target was Freddie Swain, and so that's going to be 4th and 21. The Seahawks are going to have to punt. They did pick up 1 first down. Looks like that first down came on a nice 29-yard run that we missed from Chris Carson. And that's going to be a punt inside the 20 and returned by the Niners out to the 16. And they will start their first possession of this game right there. Raheem Mostert is a single tailback in a 2 tight end formation. Jimmy Garoppolo is going to drop back and pass. And he's flushed out, looking for another target. And he got it incomplete, actually. Raheem Mostert over the middle on a little look-in pass. The result was a -4. Wipes it out, clears it to 0, as we know. So 2nd down and 10. Defense is in the nickel. It's going to be a pitch out run to Raheem Mostert. Opportunity on wrong for the running back, but it goes to the defensive card. Pickup of 6 yards. 6 on the white dice. Beats the defensive end, Benson Mayowa. So a 3rd down opportunity here for the 49ers, 3rd and 4. And they're going to try to run for it. It's a pitch out again. Raheem Mostert goes around the edge and he attacks the exact same defensive end. And once again, gets a 6 on the white dice to beat that same end, this time for a first down run. Raheem Mostert beats the defensive left end on back to back plays. That end is a 0, so we didn't need the 6 on the white die either time. Here's a little dump pass to Jeff Wilson out of the backfield. And that's going to be a pickup of 4 yards. Wow, we've got a lot of injuries in this game to look at. And I suppose the biggest one is Jamal Adams. I recall he was hurt in that last game of the year, and looks like he won't be back for a while. We'll check that again in a second here. On 2nd and 6, short pass to Ross Dwelly, and that's incomplete. Dennis went to the defensive card and found a hole on a 3. And so that's going to set up 3rd down and 6. Jamal Adams for the Seahawks, a 6-rated safety, is out for 2 more weeks after this one. So that means that Jamal Adams for Seattle only plays in the postseason if they reach the Super Bowl. Dennis being Dennis, that's certainly a possibility. And on 3rd and 6, back to pass, Jimmy Garoppolo, and he's looking over at Richie James, and he's got him. A nice pickup of 12. 49ers convert again, and they're out to the 43-yard line. And Garoppolo back. He's going to pass once more. And he's going to go to Brandon Ayuk, and that's complete. 14 more yards. Ayuk picks up a reception on a receiver result on the defensive card, and he pulls in a 14-yarder. Seahawks have another injury here. Shaquille Griffin just got hurt. He will be back in the second half, however. 1st and 10 across midfield now at the 43 of Seattle, and there's a little flat pass on the outside to Deebo Samuel for a 6-yard pickup. And it's 2nd and 4. We mentioned Shaquille Griffin getting injured. He's a left cornerback 4, replaced by a 0. So Brandon Ayuk is seeing a downgrade in his opposite defender. And they're going to key on defense, keying the running back Mostert, but it's a deep ball to Deebo Samuel with nobody back there, and that's complete. That's a big reception, 35 yards down to the 2-yard line. And that actually went to the defensive card, and Seahawks had 0 men in the zone. There were plenty of long games there, but it ended up going to receiver, and Deebo had receptions on 10, 11, and 12, rolled the 10, 1st and goal at the 2. A run up the middle to Raheem Mostert here on 1st and goal. And on his card, touchdown, Niners. So Jimmy Garoppolo with a good first drive gets a score set up on a 37-yard strike to Deebo Samuel that got him down to the 2-yard line. And Raheem Mostert took it in from there. '49ers go 84 yards in 10 plays and draw first blood in this one. They're up 7-0. Seattle coming out in the 2 tight end formation with Chris Carson, the single setback. And they're going to screen it to Carson. There are 2 men in the zone. It is incomplete. Seahawks actually got a favorable roll with 2 men in both zones on the flats. Got it to the quarterback card, result of receiver, but Chris Carson couldn't bring it in, and it's 2nd and 10. Russell Wilson 0 for 3 so far. He's back to pass again. He's looking for Carson, this time a little bit further downfield on a short pass, and that's incomplete. That one actually hit the interception split result on San Fran's defense. So Russell Wilson struggling here in the early going, and it's 3rd down and 10. Three wide receivers now split out. Freddie Swain joins the crew, but it's a deep ball to Tyler Lockett, and he is double teamed, incomplete on the quarterback card. Give Coach Rich Pierce credit on that defensive call as he doubled the right receiver. Russell Wilson now 0 for 5, and the Seahawks are punting again from the 25. And Michael Dixon with a booming punt, 56 yards on that one. And it rolls from there all the way down to the 10-yard line. So, nice punt, a nice roll after the punt. And the Niners are still up 7-0 with 6:36 to go, but they start deep in their territory. 1st and 10 at the 10-yard line. Blocking back formation, Raheem Mostert is going to be the tailback. They're running it to him, off tackle to Mostert. Defensive Seattle was looking for pass on that one. And on his card, Mostert hits the 6. That's his number. Short gain on that one. 17 yards. Mostert has the Niners out to the 27-yard line. And just like that, they're out of the hole. So pretty good start in this one for San Francisco. Certainly the underdog in this one. They come into the game 9-7, whereas the Seahawks are 14-2. And Jimmy's looking deep. Brandon Ayuk is the target. They were double teaming Deebo Samuel instead, but he is rolling out. He's going to go ahead and do a flush, and he's got a nice little dump to Ross Dwelly. Second tight end picks up a 6-yard gain on that one, and that's 2nd and 4. So he went long to Ayuk again on that one, and that's at least 2 times that backup cornerback Ugo Amadi has been targeted by the Rich Pierce offense. 2nd and 4, 2 tight end, and it's going to be a run guess from the Seahawks, but it's a deep ball. This one's going to George Kittle and incomplete. Jimmy Garoppolo had what he was looking for with a run call from the defense, but rolled the 10 on his card and an interception split. And Jimmy never nearly coughed it up. 2 through 5, 11 and 12 was a pick. He rolled the 6. So 3rd down and 4, San Francisco at their 33. San Francisco converted both of their 3rd down opportunities on that first drive. And on 3rd and 4, they're going to run for this one. Raheem Mostert goes around the edge, and not enough. He just picks up 2. Got it on his card like he wanted and had plenty of opportunities there. But he missed it with the roll. 4th and 2 at the 35, and the Niners are going to punt for the first time. And that drifts back inside the 20, taken at the 19-yard line by David Moore, and he's going to go ahead and call for the fair catch. So 4:30 to go here in the first quarter. 49ers in Seattle on the road on top, 7-0. Blocking back formation for the Seahawks. They're going to go ahead and run it right up the middle. Chris Carson. And Chris Carson on his card comes up with a good roll. He's got his short gain. 17 yards, and the Seahawks are out to the 36 just like that. 1st and 10. Chris Carson with 2 carries in this game, 1 for 29 yards and 1 for 17. Unfortunately for the Seahawks, Russell Wilson is yet to complete a pass. First and 10, it's an off tackle, this time to DJ Dallas, and just a 2-yard pickup there. It was a 2 tight end offense, and the second tight end needed to be a 6 on that run blocking. He was just a 5, so that capped it at a 2-yard run, and it's 2nd and 8 at the 38. 2 tight end formation. Chris Carson is out. Substitution in is Carlos Hyde. They're going to run it again. This time Carlos Hyde goes off tackle in the same direction to the left side. And that's going to be a pick up of 6 yards, but there is a flag. And it looks like we've got offsetting penalties, so wipe that one off. Carlos Hyde beat the defensive tackle, but the play gets wiped away. So still 2nd and 8 here. And back to pass, Russell Wilson. He's looking for Greg Olsen, the tight end. And 49ers double team the other receivers, the wideouts. So good call targeting the tight end here. And Greg Olsen is got that one. 15 yards on a completion, defensive card on a 7. Defender Xer 15 gets that 15. And the Seahawks have crossed midfield. 1st and 10 at the San Francisco 47. We mentioned earlier the Seahawks injuries. It's actually the 49ers that have bigger injuries. We'll look at that. Here's a run up the middle to Carlos Hyde, and he's got a nice one, 15 yards. Carlos Hyde on the defensive card hit a 4 with 0 linebackers and got the split roll for 15 yards. And only a 9 and 10 would miss it. So a nice pickup there as the Seahawks continue to run out that ground game in this one. Inside run again to Carlos Hyde and nothing doing. That time the difference was a run call by the defense. Well, actually, I stand corrected. That was only going to be a yard on wrong. 2nd and 10. Seahawks at the San Francisco 32. Another run call from the defense and another run up the middle by Carlos Hyde. -1. And 3rd and 11 now. So Dennis focusing on the run, trying to sneak it in there, but being sniffed out on back-to-back plays by Coach Rich Pierce. 3rd and 11, they'll stay in the blocking back formation, but with the extra down and distance, the 49ers drop into the nickel. And on 3rd and 11, they're running it again right up the middle, Chris Carson, and that's just going to be a pickup of 4 yards, so not enough. It's 4th and 7 at the Frisco 29-yard line, and that's going to bring out place kicker Jason Myers. And he's got it up and good. That was good on a 2 through 10. Very reliable kicker. And the Seahawks are on the board for the first time on the final play of the first quarter at the end of 1 here in Seattle. The NFC wildcard game, the Seahawks at home trail 7-3. Ensuing kickoff to the 49ers, they take over at their 20. Fullback Kyle Juszczyk is out in this game, I noticed, for the 49ers, so we'll start with that. And he will be unavailable next week as well. He's one of the few fullbacks in this league that actually make a difference when they come on the field. There's a little run up the middle, just 2 yards. Jeff Wilson with the modest gain, and it's 2nd down and 8. Off tackle again to Jeff Wilson. Running into a pass defense, and Jeff Wilson's got his number. That's a short gain. Jeff Wilson, 1st down and more. 15 yards is the result. He's out to the 37-yard line. These two teams running with purpose early in this one. Blocking back formation, Raheem Mostert comes back in. Ayuk and Samuel split out wide. Seattle will drop back into the nickel. There's an off tackle to Raheem Mostert and just 3 yards. He had it on wrong on his card. A good opportunity, but comes up with a bad die result, and it's 2nd down and 7. San Francisco at the 40. Early second quarter here. Niners up on the Seahawks 7-3. And here's a screen to Raheem Mostert, and that's going to be a nice pickup. 8 yards and a first down on that one. Defense was guessing run, and that allowed Russell Wilson to do some good work on his card. I'm sorry, I said Russell Wilson. I meant Jimmy Garoppolo, who's now 7 for 10 for 85 yards. Blocking back formation. The defense will stay in that nickel. So at least on some level, Coach Dennis Crowley tempting him to run the ball. And run it he will around the edge to Raheem Mostert. He is keyed, and there is a man there. It's going to be a pickup of 2 yards. I said there's a man there, and I'm wrong. He went to the opposite side. He did pick up 2 yards on a 6 on the defensive card. So, and actually that play's been wiped away. We've got a penalty. Seattle was offsides, mark off 5 yards, and the Niners have a 1st and 5 at the Seattle 47. Here's a pitch out to Jeff Wilson, just a 3-yard pickup. That was again on wrong. Defense was guessing pass. 2nd down and 2. And back to pass. Looking for Deebo Samuel, and he's got him. Jimmy Garoppolo hits Deebo Samuel, even though he was double teamed. Nice call on the defense there by Coach Crowley. But a snake eyes roll allowed that to be completed, double teamed on Jimmy Garoppolo's card, and it's 1st and 10. San Francisco now with the 33 of Seattle, and he's back to pass again. He's looking for George Kittle this time, incomplete. Caught the defense guessing run on that one. But Jimmy Garoppolo couldn't hit his number. 2nd and 10 at the 33. Feels like the Niners so far, from an offensive coordinator perspective, have done a good job of crossing up the Seattle defensive calls as far as the run pass and, when you're doing it. So far, it's early. 11:24 to go here in the 2nd quarter. And on 2nd and 10, Garoppolo is going to pass again. A little dump pass over the middle to Raheem Mostert, and that's incomplete. Results a receiver betrays Mostert, and it's 3rd down and 10. San Francisco, as we said, is at the 33-yard line of Seattle. From here, that's a 2 through 5 field goal. Gain another yard. It's 2 to 9 and 12. It's a big difference on 3rd and 10. Maybe he considers running it. The defense is in a nickel. They're showing blitz. 3 wide receivers are split out with Richie James in the slot for the Niners. Big 3rd and 10 here for San Francisco. Back to pass Garoppolo. He's looking short. He's got Richie James, and he's got him. Picked him up for exactly 10 yards, just enough to get that 1st down marker. Move the chains. 49ers now 1st and 10 at the 23-yard line of Seattle. Niners started the game with a 10-play, 84 drive. So far, they're 10 plays, 52 yards on this drive. Here's a short pass, Brian Ayuk, and actually running around the corner, Jimmy Garoppolo gave up that pass and went ahead and run around the corner. Only a 3-yard pickup as he rolled out of bounds. So 2nd down and 7 now at the Seattle 20. Free safety still has at the 20 those deep responsibilities. They're going to sit in the nickel. And it's a square out to Deebo Samuel. Attacking a 0 linebacker. Result is receiver, and Deebo is going to pick up just 3. Deebo Samuel's going to have an elite card next year, but last year, I believe he was injured for part of the year, only had 33 receptions in real life. So 3rd down and 4 now. for the 49ers at the 17-yard line of Seattle. Free safety is, lack of a better term, free. They're showing blitz out of the 4-3. Raheem Mostert is the tailback on this 3rd and 4 in blocking back formation. I would think Kittle would be a good target here, and it is. Quick slant to George Kittle. And Russell Wilson picks up 5 on his card. I'm sorry, Jimmy Garoppolo picks up 5 on his card. And that's enough for a first down. I thought about Kittle because he's, just like Deebo Samuel, a couple of players with an A rating on the Yak. He went to Kittle, picks up that 3rd down, and it's now 1st and 10 at the 12. Blitz out of the 4-3 on the defense. It's a little hitch over the middle. Deebo Samuel, he's got it. And let's see what he gets as far as the Yak reading, and it's going to be a total of 5 yards on that play. Deebo Samuel, his 5th catch now, 60 yards on the game. 2nd down and 5 for the 49ers at the Seattle 7. Coach Crowley showing blitz again out of the 4-3. Raheem Mostert, the single tailback in a blocking back formation, and they're going to pitch out to him. It's a run around the edge. Defense was guessing pass. It does go to the defensive card, though, and that's a nice loss of 3 yards. Jordan Brooks makes the tackle. And a big one on linebacker in zone. Got the -3, 5 on the white die. And Jordan Brooks beats it. So that sets up a 3rd and 8. So this is a big moment in the game here. 2nd quarter, 7:48 left to go. 49ers already on top 7-3. 3rd and 8 at the 10. We're waiting to see if we're going to end up with them getting in the end zone for a 14-3 lead or going for that field goal attempt to try to just move it to 7 points. 3 wide receivers for the 49ers. The tailback is Raheem Mostert. Richie James is in the slot. Dropping back into the nickel now, showing the blitz. The Seattle defense. Big call, short pass. Richie James the target again. Defense guessing pass, thrown. Garoppolo's card into the end zone. Touchdown, Niners. Jimmy Garoppolo, clutch on 3rd down. Hits the 10 plus 10 on his card. Gets it from the 10-yard line and into the end zone. Garoppolo now 13 of 18 for 129 yards and a touchdown in this game. 49ers on that drive. 16 plays, 75 yards and a touchdown on that drive. 14-3. Take a look at the yardage here. San Francisco, halfway through the 2nd quarter, has outgained them 184-80. And with half of the 2nd quarter gone, I think Russell Wilson still has completed just 1 pass, and indeed he has. Off tackle here to Carlos Hyde. And that's going to be a nice pickup of 6 yards to get things rolling for the Seahawks here. 6 on the white die, beating the left tackle. 2nd down and 4. Russell Wilson back to pass. He's looking for tight end Will Dissly, and he's got him. Pick up a 15. There is a penalty, and tack on 15 more. That one's against San Francisco. And that'll march the 49ers, or I should say the Seahawks, all the way down to the San Francisco 39-yard line. So Seattle, on the strength of that penalty, already on the edge of field goal range. Back to pass again to Dissly and incomplete. So back-to-back passes from Wilson to Dissly. Second one misses, and it's 2nd down and 10. Two tight end formation. And there's a slant pass to Jacob Hollister over the middle, and that's complete. Russell Wilson hits another one, and it's 1st and 10 at the 29. Coach Crowley opening up the offense here a little bit. First and 10. 5:42 to go here in the first half. Here's an off tackle to Carlos Hyde, and he's got that on the defensive card. Snake eyes and on into the end zone. The defense gets run for the 49ers, so give Coach Pierce credit on that one. But Carlos Hyde on snake eyes on off tackle gets a reading on the defensive card of plus 34. And Carlos Hyde rolls into the end zone with a 29-yard touchdown run. Big play out of the running game for Seattle. And their running game's been doing pretty well. Good thing with the struggles early here from their quarterback. But Carlos Hyde and Chris Carson have combined 9 carries for 98 yards in this game. And we may have just locked up. And I know we have just locked up. So let's give me a second here while we make arrangements to get back into our contest. Let's see. Scheduled games. Huh. Well, that shut down again. Let's try one more time. Huh. It's not letting me back in. So we're going to try a couple things. First, let's download that pre-file one more time. Okay, let's go back to the game. All right, that looks much better. And look what we have here. First and goal at the 1 for the 49ers. That did not take long. And inside run to Raheem Mostert, and just like that, we've got a touchdown. How about San Francisco? We weren't gone that long. And San Francisco, I got to look here. They just got another touchdown. 5 plays, 75 yards. Or did we get a pick 6? Let's take a look. I guess we didn't. No, because we saw the touchdown. That was just a quick drive. So there was probably some big plays in there we missed somewhere. 31-yard reception to George Kittle. I think that's probably the one we missed. But the Niners pick up that touchdown in that brief window we were offline, and they now lead 21-10. Seattle trailing by 11 at home. They have the ball. Second down and 6 at their own 29. Still 2 minutes, 24 seconds left to go here in the first half of this game. Off tackle to Carlos Hyde. That's a nice pickup. 8 yards on that one. Left tackle beats the white die. Dwayne Brown is a elite left tackle. And he plows the way. Gets the first down, and it's first and 10 at the 37. Now 2-minute warning here in Seattle with the home team trailing 21-10. Two tight end formation for the Seahawks. Back to pass. Russell Wilson targeting Will Dissly and incomplete. Hit a blank spot on that quarterback card. It's 2nd down and 10. Russell Wilson just 3 completions in this game so far. Here's a short pass. That is complete, but wipe away that completion. Would have been a first down to DK Metcalf, but holding on the offense. Seattle backs up. It's 2nd and 20 now at their 27. Seattle now 4 penalties for 40 yards. Just a single personal foul on the 49ers. Turnover-free game so far. Chris Carson, the tailback, in the blocking back formation, and they're going to give it to him off tackle to the left side. That's where the stronger run blocking is. Just a pickup of 1 yard, though. That went to the defensive card. And that's what the Niners wanted to see. So now 3rd and 19. Seattle at their 28. I'm kind of surprised that the 49ers didn't consider calling timeout there on 3rd and 19. But the clock ran down to 1:22. That's where we are right now for this 3rd and 19. And defense calls a timeout. I'm taking it they did not like their choice of formation. And indeed, they drop back into the dime. So San Francisco calculates it's worth the timeout to get in the dime and make sure they get off the field here and give their offense one more opportunity. And there's a deep pass to Chris Carson. That's intercepted. 49ers have that ball just across their 40. Coming the other way on the return. Let's see. And that return is across midfield down to the opposite 40 and fumbled. Fumble on that interception return. Let's see who's got this. And the 49ers pick it up. So the 49ers get the game's first turnover on an interception here just before halftime and return it all the way to Seattle's 40. Promptly fumble it themselves, but they do get the recovery. And so 1st and 10 at the 39-yard line of Seattle with 1:15 to go and 2 timeouts. 49ers already on top by 11 points. Defense keys on Raheem Mostert. It's a short pass to Brandon Ayuk, and he's got it. And Brandon Ayuk shakes his defender. And he is going to go, folks, into the end zone. Touchdown. There's a flag. Let's see who it's on. And wipe away the score. Holding backs it up. Big penalty. That was a short pass, 3 men. The 11 hit the long gain, and it was enough for Brandon Ayuk to score. But a holding penalty wipes off that play. So 1st and 20 now at their own 49. And the Niners going right back to Ayuk. He's double teamed this time. Deep ball, incomplete. That was doubled on Garoppolo's card. So 2nd and 20 now at the 49-yard line. Seahawks on 2nd and 20 will sit in the nickel, blocking back formation. We might see a run here, and we do. Pitch out to Raheem Mostert against the pass defense. 2nd and 20, looking for some yardage, and he's got it. Short gain on his card, Raheem Mostert. And he is down to the 35-yard line. Nice pickup. Timeout on the play by the Niners. 52 seconds left. And I stand corrected. Timeout on the play by the Seahawks. So that's an interesting call. 3rd and 5 at the Seattle 35. I'm not saying that's the wrong call, by the way. They are behind. They need points. And if they get a stop here, they're just communicating they'd like to make a play. On 3rd and 6, it's a blocking back formation. Defense out of the nickel, but they're running. It's an off tackle, Raheem Mostert, and he's got a split roll and just 5 yards. He had a chance at 15, but it was a slim chance. 4th and 1 at the Seattle 30. It's a good field goal chance from there as long as he doesn't lose 3 on the variable. Seattle takes their second timeout, so they're down to 1 timeout. San Francisco has 2 timeouts. 45 seconds left here. And buckle up your seatbelts, folks. The Niners are going for it. 4th and 1 at the Seattle 30. Full house formation. Defense drops into a short yardage defense, but it's a pass slant to Kittle, and he's got it. George Kittle, 13 yards over the middle. Big 4th down conversion there for the 49ers as they're looking to put the first nail in the coffin here before the halftime gun. I suppose nail in the coffin is a little bit of an exaggeration, but they are looking at an 18-point lead if they can get in the end zone. Seattle's 2 timeouts there, totally understand it, but it might be a contributing factor to allowing them enough time to actually get to the end zone here. Full house formation again at the 17-yard line of Seattle. 2 timeouts, so 22 seconds to work with, so some time here. That's going to be a little run up the middle, off tackle to Raheem Mostert, 3 yards. And San Francisco takes their second timeout. So we're down to 15 seconds left here before halftime. Both teams with just 1 timeout. 2nd and 7 at the Seattle 14. You know, the field goal kicker is reliable enough here. I'd be throwing. Get yourself to that end zone. A sack isn't going to hurt you that much on your field goal chance. Of course, if you think Dennis is thinking that way, you might go opposite. Just a thought. And on 2nd and 7, here's a pitch out going against a pass defense. Raheem Mostert on his card, and he's got a first down, 8 yards, but he did not get out of bounds. So I assume San Francisco's taking their last time out here. Their only other option, looks like, is to spike it. So I got to assume we're getting the San Fran timeout. Waiting for the confirmation. Tougher decision than I would have thought for San Francisco. I wonder what they're thinking. They do take the timeout, though. So 8 seconds left before halftime. San Francisco is out of timeouts. And so they're going to go ahead and they're going to take the field goal, which I think if I was going to take the field goal, maybe you just spike it there. But he'll go ahead and kick it, and it's a chippy 23-yarder by Robbie Gould, and it's good. 49ers take the lead here, 24-10, now up by 2 scores, 2 touchdowns. And they're going to onside kick here, and they recover it. No time on the clock, however. And that's the end of the first half here in Seattle with the home team trailing in this NFC wild card tilt. San Francisco 49ers 24, Seahawks 10. So I don't know if anything is a huge upset in the playoffs, but this would, I think, be fair to call an upset if the 49ers were to hold on here. But a lot of time left, 2 full quarters, only a 2-touchdown lead, and an extremely experienced coach with 4 Super Bowl titles in the black hole here. So if anybody can dig himself out, it would be Coach Dennis Crowley. 49ers get the ball first here. They start at the 25 here at the second half. And they're going to come out looking deep. Brandon Ayuk, and they've got him. Brandon Ayuk from Jimmy Garoppolo. That ball's completed across midfield, actually inside the 40, down to the 39 of Seattle. That's a pickup of 36. So on the opening play of the second half, defense leaves the long pass zone open, and Coach Pierce targets it and hits it.
Jimmy Garoppolo having a good game here, 18 to 24 for 235 and a touchdown. And that's after just one play in the second half. Defense guessing run again. They're going to key on the running back, Jeff Wilson, but it's a square out. Debo Samuel has it. Result of receiver, he's got it for a first down. That's 15 yards. 49ers are on the march again. Rich Pierce, very aggressive here in this one. Jimmy Garoppolo, 25 passes. And one pass too many as he's intercepted. Jimmy Garoppolo looking over the middle for a little dump pass, and he is picked off there by Poona Ford. And that, ladies and gentlemen, is a huge interception in this game, as the 49ers were not just marching, but marching at warp speed, turboing their way toward the end zone when the Seattle Seahawks get this critical interception. It was flat pass right on Jimmy Garoppolo. He got the split roll on an 11, and 2 through 5, 11, and 12, he got that pick. Now on first down, Russell Wilson, he passes over the middle, and that's complete. Russell Wilson hits Chris Carson, and that's a first down. 10-yard gain out to the 30. There's a little flare out to the tight end, and Will Dissly's got another 10. Move the chains. Seahawks will take that every day. Those last two passes are completions 4 and 5 for Russell Wilson in this game. He only had 3 completions at halftime. Now 5 for 13, 60 yards and a touchdown. And there's a button hook with 2 men there, and it's incomplete. But there's a personal foul. Personal foul against the Niners. And so 15 yards sends the Seahawks across midfield, 1st and 10 at the 45-yard line of San Francisco. Wilson back to pass. He's looking short for his receiver, Chris Carson, and that's incomplete. There's another penalty, and that one is going to go against the offense. So refs can give, and they can take it away. Back up 10 yards for the Seahawks, 1st and 20. Now back in their own territory at the 45-yard line. Defense is going to guess run on 1st and 20, but it's a pass, and Russell Wilson misses it. Russell Wilson, for the second time, hits that 6 on his card that shows nothing. That time it was on wrong, so he continues to struggle even in opportunistic moments, and that makes it 2nd and 20. Screen pass to Chris Carson, and he's got it for a pickup of 7. So that'll get a little bit closer for the 3rd down range here. 3rd down and 13. Just across midfield at the 48-yard line of San Francisco. And on 3rd and 13, the Niners will sit in the nickel. Tyler Lockett and DK Metcalf have been a little quiet with the struggles of their quarterback today. As a matter of fact, we're in the second half and neither one has a catch. Back to pass and looking deep. Russell Wilson, but he's going to run with it. Gets around the edge, and he's got a 1st down and more. Lots of room there. Pickup of 21. And Russell Wilson has the Seahawks on the march now down to the 27-yard line of San Francisco. There's an off-tackle run to Chris Carson, and that's 4 yards, 2nd and 6. Chris Carson stays in the game as the tailback. Back to pass, slant to the tight end, Greg Olsen, and that's complete by Russell Wilson, 13 yards, and it's going to be 1st and goal, Seattle at the 10. Russell Wilson starting to wake up. He still hasn't hit the wideouts, though. 5 catches for the tight ends and 2 catches for the tailback. Targeting the tight end again. Russell Wilson looking over the middle to Greg Olsen. He's flushed out of the pocket. Wilson scrambling, and let's see. We've got a pass and a yak opportunity, and he's brought down immediately. Actually incomplete over the middle, so 2nd down and 10. Still a lot of time left in this one, early 3rd quarter. 49ers up on the Seahawks 24-10, but the Seahawks marching, short pass to the tight end, but he's going to be a must run and not enough. Wilson picks up 4 yards. And that sets up a 3rd down, 3rd and goal for the Seahawks at the 6. Seahawks are just 1 of 5 today on 3rd downs. San Francisco is 5 for 7. And one of those 2 3rd downs they missed, they went ahead and converted the 4th down conversion. On 3rd and goal, it's going to be a blocking back formation again for the Seahawks. Carson is the tailback. We'll see if he maybe targets Lockett here. He doesn't. It's going to be a pass to Chris Carson out of the backfield, and he is double teamed. Double teamed, and it does not matter. And it's going to be a touchdown. Give Coach Pierce credit as he correctly double teamed Chris Carson on 3rd and goal, but it went to the defensive card and it hit the one, number that just sits out there waiting to be picked off on 4 men. And 6 on the dice ended up being a +10 and a touchdown. So it's been a grind for Seattle to try to stay in this game, but they're only down by 7 now after that touchdown. 24-17. 49ers on top of Seattle. 8:42 to go here in the 3rd quarter. Take a look at the offense now. Seattle's made a big dent in that hole. They're being outgained here 338 to 228. Here's a pitch out for Jeff Wilson. And the Niners running back heads to the edge, but he's brought down immediately. In fact, he lost 2 on that play. Tackle on the play by KJ Wright. Result from the defensive card with a linebacker there. 2nd and 12. Niners will stay in the blocking back formation. Nickel defense is what we're going to see here from Seattle. And on 2nd and 12, it's a little screen out to the right. Raheem Mostert has it, and just to pick up a 4 yards on that play, nicely defended. Brought down by Jordan Brooks, and it's going to be 3rd down and 8. We just referenced a little bit ago the success that the Niners have had today on 3rd down. They've got another opportunity here inside their own red zone. And the Niners will split out 3 wide receivers now with Kendrick Bourne in the slot. And Garoppolo back to pass. He's targeting Kendrick Bourne, and that's going to be incomplete. There's a penalty, and it's going to be holding on the offense. And that'll be declined for Seattle. And that'll force a San Francisco punt from their own 18. Mitch Wisnowski punts it. And that's going to be inside the 40 down to the 36. Return there. And David Moore gets 9 yards. And Seattle takes over now 1st and 10 at their own 45-yard line. So 55 yards away from tying this game. They'll stay in their base set, blocking back formation. Off tackle to Chris Carson. And Carson with a nice pickup of 8 yards there as it does get the reading of left tackle. And once again, Dwayne Brown plows the road, 2nd down and 2. Off tackle this time to Carlos Hyde, and it's going to be a loss on the play, -1. Give Coach Pierce credit. He called run on that one, saved a 6-yard gain. and a first down. So that sets up 3rd and 3 for Seattle. Chris Carson back in at tailback. 2 tight end formation. And looking deep, Russell Wilson. But he's flushed out of the pocket. 3rd and 3, just needs a little bit. Looking for another target here, and he's got it. First down and more. 7-yard pickup on that play for Chris Carson, who has 4 catches in this game. The Seahawks continue to target tailbacks and tight ends. I suppose it's not fair to say that that's all they target. I've seen passes to Lockett and Metcalf. They just haven't hit any of them yet, which is, 0 catches for that duo with 5:42 in the 3rd quarter. That's, that's news. I'm sure Dennis, like all of us, has to deal with a lot of double teams for those guys. Here's a screen to Chris Carson, and that's a nice pickup. 9 yards, sets up a 2nd down and 1. Caught the defense guessing run on that one. Coach Crowley takes advantage in the flats there to Chris Carson on his 5th catch of the game. Carlos Hyde comes in now for this short yardage down. 2 tight ends. He'll be the single tailback. Seahawks already on the border of field goal range. Looking for more. It's a run up the middle to Hyde, and not much there. He does pick up 1 yard. It's enough for the first down. Move the chains. And Seattle's 1st and 10 at the San Fran 31-yard line. From here, the field goal is 2 through 10 as it is all the way in. All he has to do is not lose any yardage. Running up the middle to Carlos Hyde, and that's going to be a loss of 2 yards. Just as soon as I say you don't want to lose yardage, he does lose it. Defense called run on that play. That's what caused the -2. So 2nd down and 12. They're guessing run again, but it's a pass. Wilson over the short pass zone, but it's going to be incomplete. Russell Wilson on his own card on wrong again. He's just not hitting his numbers in this game, and it's 3rd and 12 at the 33. They're on the border of that field goal range. It's still 3rd quarter. I think you got to favor a conservative call here that gives you a chance, and that's what he is not going to do. Deep ball. Chris Carson's the target, and no one is in the zone. Incomplete. Give Coach Crowley credit. Long pass on wrong with nobody there. He sniffed out exactly what I was thinking, which was surely you're not going long in this situation, and he took his shot. But that means he does have to kick this field goal from the 33, and no good. No good. So I can't fault Dennis for that decision. But he was on the border of that 2 through 5 or 2 through 10 field goal and went long and correctly calculated. 0 men in the zone and had plenty of opportunities on that defensive card to complete it. They just didn't get it done. And then the field goal misses. So 2nd and 10 as the Niners have taken over at their 40 after that long missed field goal. 2nd down and 10. Niners still up by 7 here, 24-17. Back to pass. Garoppolo, he's again targeting Richie James. Defense was double teaming Brandon Ayuk. And that's a little pickup of 4 yards on that one. Jeff Wilson out of the backfield as the quarterback was flushed. It's 3rd down and 6. San Francisco at their own 44. Seattle has outrushed San Francisco in this one, 148-86. Passing game, a different story where Jimmy Garoppolo has definitely outplayed Russell Wilson, 258 yards to 102. And on 3rd and 6, Seattle's going to drop into a nickel defense. Raheem Mostert's the single tailback in a blocking back formation. And they're going to run for it. It's a pitch out to Raheem Mostert as he tries to turn the corner on this big third down. And on his card, he gets close, not quite. He got 6 yards, needed 7. Nice containment effort on that one by linebacker KJ Wright, and it's 4th and 1. San Francisco at their own 49, and they're going. So, full house formation, short yardage defense, run right up the middle to Jerick McKinnon. Nothing doing. Stopped by Seattle. And the 12th man is roaring here for the home team. You're just going to have to trust me and picture that, fellas. 1st and 10 at the 49-yard line of San Francisco. Seahawks with a big break take over at midfield. 1:48 to go here in the third quarter. Seahawks need a touchdown to tie. Interesting call on that 4th and 1, running Jerick McKinnon up the middle. Short yardage defense, but it's a pass. Garoppolo over the middle to Greg Olsen, but that's incomplete. I said Garoppolo, and I apologize. That's a pass by Russell Wilson, and it's incomplete. I keep getting that confused today. I don't know where my mind's at. Incomplete by Russell Wilson. It was actually an interception split roll opportunity. 2nd down and 10. Carson's the tailback in a blocking back formation. Defense guessing short yardage again, but it's a deep ball. DK Metcalf and incomplete. Russell Wilson on his card on wrong. Gets a 7 and needed 6, 5, and 4. So another big miss there for Russ, and it's 3rd and 10 for Seattle. Back to pass Wilson again. He's looking for DK Metcalf, and he's got him. This time he's got it. 13 yards and a 1st down. DK Metcalf, with 54 seconds left here in the third quarter, finally makes the first reception in this game for the Seattle wide receivers. First and 10 at the San Francisco 36-yard line. Chris Carson is the tailback in the eye. And it's another short pass to Metcalf. This one's complete. 10 yards and a 1st down. Back-to-back completions to DK. And Seattle's on the march here. 1st and 10 at the 26. You're hitting him with the receivers. Maybe we see Lockett this time. First and 10, it's an off-tackle run to Chris Carson and a 6-yard pickup. As a 4 on the white dice was all that was needed to beat the interior tackles for the 49ers. So 2nd and 4 now at the San Francisco 20-yard line. Matter of fact, that run marched right over Javon Kinlaw's replacement. Back to pass. Greg Olsen's got it. That's completion for 11 yards and a 1st down. Russ is heating up. 1st and goal. Seahawks at the 9-yard line. And that's the end of the third quarter. We're in the fourth quarter here on Seattle. Seahawks trail by 7, but they're 1st and goal trying to tie this up. Blocking back formation. It's an off-tackle run. Chris Carson, pickup of 2. Defense guessed run. That held it to a 2-yard gain, so 2nd and goal at the 7. Defense is guessing run again, but it's going to be a short pass. DK Metcalf, end zone, touchdown, Seahawks. And the Seattle Seahawks have come storming back here in the second half. with a couple of touchdowns. And they're an extra point away from tying this game. And forget that extra point in the tie game. Coach Dennis Crowley coming out aggressive, full house formation, looking to take the lead here. 13:48 to go in the fourth quarter. First and goal at the 2. Not really, I guess that's what it says, but from the 2-yard line, it's a 2-point conversion attempt. And I would expect a run with those tackles being zeros up the middle. We'll see. Defense is guessing run, but it's another pass. Short pass, Greg Olson. Result is receiver, and he's got it. And coming all the way from behind, the Seahawks take the lead on that 2-point conversion. Now 25-24 in favor of the home team. Ensuing kickoff is to the goal line. Looks like the Niners have a decision to make there. And it appears I'm going to lock up while they think about that. So we see that from time to time, the possibility of picking up. There it is. All right, 1 second. Let me find. Got to get back here for the fourth quarter. There's an end run to Jeff Wilson as we are back, and Jeff Wilson hits his number. That's 16 yards. So a nice run for the 49ers as they trail for the first time in this game, 25-24. Niners at one point had a 2-touchdown lead, 24-10, after a field goal right before halftime. But the Seattle defense has played good in the second half and got them back in this game. Here's a little flat pass, and it's going to be a 23-yard pickup. It was actually called as a deep ball to Brandon Ayuk. He was flushed out of the pocket and ended up hitting Mostert for a pickup of 23 on the defensive card. So 49ers are all the way across midfield now and at the edge of field goal range. 1st and 10 at the 38. Back to pass, looking for Kittle. Short pass, Garoppolo. Intercepted. Intercepted by the Seahawks. That ball's picked off at about the 23-yard line and returned for just a handful of yards out to the 27. Trey Flowers stepped in front of that one, and that's twice that the Seahawks defense has forced a big turnover deep in their own end to stop a drive, and this one retains the lead for Seattle. Still up 25-24, Seahawks now, 12-18 to go. There's a deep ball, Tyler Lockett, and incomplete. He was double teamed on that play, so give Coach Pierce credit. 49ers were called for being offside, so wipe away the play, mark off 5 yards, and it's 1st and 5 for Seattle. Blocking back formation. Short yardage defense off tackle. Chris Carson and just a pickup of 2. 2nd down and 3 at the 34. You know, I have to tell you, it feels like the difference in this game, first half to second half, is in the first half when San Francisco was on offense, it felt like a high propensity of their calls. If they ran, Dennis was guessing pass. If they passed, Dennis was guessing run. But in the second half, it feels like that script has flipped, and it's the Seattle offense that's been getting a lot of good calls here. Case in point, short yardage defense, screen pass to Chris Carson, and that's going to be a nice short gain. 1st down and more. Chris Carson across midfield, or actually just a little short of midfield, out to the 49-yard line. So just as I was saying, the second half has been a lot more successful offensively with the play calls for the Seahawks. And Russell Wilson, who had just 3 completions at the half, is 15 of 30 now for a $158 and 2 touchdowns. 1st and 10 Seattle. They'll stay in the blocking back, short yardage defense, and he's going to pass again, targeting over middle of the tight end, Greg Olson. That goes to the defensive card, and that's a 1st down, 10 yards. Russell Wilson has gotten hot in the second half, and he's looking to put this team on the board again. Back to pass again. This receiver is double teamed, and he's not going to get it off. He is brought down on a sack. Sack on the play by Eric Armstead, a drop of 6 yards. Just what the Niners defense needed at second down and 16 at the San Francisco 47-yard line. Carson will stay in the deep eye in this blocking back formation. Defense is going to guess run, short yardage, but it's a deep ball. DK Metcalf and incomplete as Russell Wilson on his card. Long pass wrong, misses again. And that makes it 3rd and 16. So another big gamble moment on the long pass. I understand why you did it. You did get it on wrong, but Seahawks now staring at a 3rd and 16. But I guess worst case scenario, even if they punt, you're looking at punting them pretty deep here. Probably you can pin them deep. Let's see if he wants to run this on 3rd down. 49ers going to be cautious. They're setting up in the nickel. 3rd and 16 at the San Francisco 47, 9:36 to go in this one. Hawks up by 1. And they are running it off tackle, Chris Carson. And that's going to be a pickup of 8 yards. Once again, successfully running behind Dwayne Brown as he picks up, I think, his 4th block in this game to spring extra yards. And so I thought we might get a punt there, but we're not. Seattle's going for it here. 9 minutes to go. Seattle's up by a point. They're 4th and 8 at the San Francisco 39. And dropping back to pass and looking deep. He's going for Tyler Lockett, and he's got him. Tyler Lockett inside the 10 has the completion, 31 yards, 1st and goal. Gutsy call. And for the second time on 4th down, the Seahawks dial up the deep ball. They didn't get the payoff in the first attempt, but this time Wilson hits the strike to Lockett, his first catch of this game. And they're on the doorstep, 1st and goal on the 8. Off tackle, Chris Carson around the right side, into the end zone, touchdown Seattle. So Seattle continues to storm back in the second half. That's a 7-point lead, and they're going to go for 2 again to try to move it to 9 and make this a 2-score game. Analytics football from Dennis Crowley, full house formation. 49ers in the 4-3, guess and run again, but it's another pass, back to throw, and that's going to be intercepted in the end zone. Picked off there by San Francisco, and he's going to try to return this, but he's brought down immediately. And the game is shut down. Hey, Harlan's here. Welcome, Harlan. How are you? Got to load the game up again. So on that scoring drive for Seattle, on the last 3 or 4, at least 3 last plays, maybe the last 4 plays, 3 critical plays where Dennis caught the defense guessing run and he was throwing it. And he allowed that to catapult him into the end zone for the big score. That put him up by 7. He went for 2 to try to make it up by 9 and missed it. So we're still with a 7-point lead. Seahawks are on top of the 49ers. 49ers were up 24-10 at halftime, but 3 consecutive touchdowns unanswered by the Seahawks have them up by 7. Second down and 10 for the 49ers at their own 25. Back to passes Garoppolo. He's looking for Ross Dwelly, and that's incomplete. 3rd down and 10. And yardage game tightens up considerably again. 386 for San Fran, 367 for Seattle. I heard a beep. We're going to check that just in case.
Still broadcasting now. He's wanting to know the score of the game. And San Fran doesn't get the run that he needed for the first down. He tried to run for it and got 5 yards from Mostert. And so, 4th down and 5 for the 49ers. There he is. Hey, Anthony, you're here for a big finish.
Hey guys, good. All right, I'm gonna put you on mute though.
That's fine. 4th down and 5. San Francisco is going for it at their own 30, down by 7. 3 wide receivers. Deebo Samuel in the slot. Nickel defense. Back to passes Garoppolo, and he's looking long. He's targeting Jerick McKinnon, and nobody's in the zone, and that's going to be incomplete. Wow. On that big 4th down, give Coach Pierce credit. He correctly calculated that Dennis would want to use his free safety to increase his odds on the shorter gains, and he attacked that long pass, nobody there, and rolled the 7. And in fact, he rolled a 6 on the white dice, so even those defender long gains were likely long gains. So just long gains, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 long gains there. He rolls the interception split, and the Niners, based on that, are now in trouble. 6:36 to go in this one. Seahawks up by 7. They have that 1st and 10 at the 30-yard line of San Francisco. And there's a 5-yard run off left tackle, Chris Carson. Carson's been running to the left all day, and 3 or 4 times has picked up the block to spring him by Dwayne Brown, and 3 or 4 times has successfully attacked the 0-rated tackle there with Javon Kinlaw injured. So he's really made good use of that. Here's an off tackle to Carson, and he's got his number again, 14 yards and a 1st down into the red zone and down to the 11. 5:24 to go. Carson goes over 100 yards rushing on the day, 13 for 108. 1st and 10, Seahawks at the San Francisco 11. Off tackle again, Chris Carson, and a 5-yard pickup. Defense was guessing run, but right now the breaks are going one team's way, and that went to the defensive card. So 2nd and 5 at the 6. Full house formation now. Zeros across that defensive front for the most part. I expect them to keep running, and they do. Chris Carson goes to the defensive card, 4 yards, just a little shy of the end zone. 3rd and 1 at the San Francisco 2-yard line. Frisco desperately needing a goal line stand. Full house. Carson is fatigued. Carlos Hyde is also in there. Carson gets the call. Run up the middle. He's stuffed. -2. And that might be the difference in him kicking the field goal here and not going for it. And indeed, Jason Myers comes out and drills the chippy. And so Seattle, who once trailed in this game 24-10 on a field goal just before halftime, 24 unanswered here in the second half, now lead 34-24. And it looks like I have frozen again on the kickoff. So we're going to get set up again. That kickoff was with 3 minutes and 18 seconds left in the game. So San Francisco is getting the ball back with 3:18 to go. They are going to have all 3 timeouts. They're down 10 points. So definitely a mountain to climb. And they're going to have to either rely on an onside kick or they're going to be relying on an expeditious approach to their offense here. For those like Anthony who may just be picking up this game, story is in the first half, the 49ers offense was making the right calls against the defense, and Dennis wasn't guessing right on defense very often. The second half, it reversed, and it's been an avalanche as Seattle has come storming back. 2nd and 1, here's a short pass to Jeff Wilson, and that's incomplete. 3rd down and 1 for the 49ers at the San Fran 34. San Francisco has outgained them 400-393, although majority of that was in the first half. Big 3rd and 1 here. Blocking back formation, Jeff Wilson, the tailback. Back to pass, Garoppolo. He's looking over for Brandon Ayuk, and that's incomplete. So that's a 4th down and 1. They're going to have to go for this. They're at their own 34-yard line, trailing by 10. We're down to 2 minutes, 6 seconds. So 2-minute warning is coming up right after this play. And I'd say if you have to, it's time to run it. You got to get that first down here. Blocking back formation. Jeff Wilson stays in. 4-3 defense, a couple of 5-rated tackles there up the middle for Seattle. And on 4th and 1, a repetitive theme from this game, we're looking long. Brandon Ayuk is the target, and he's got him. Garoppolo nails him on the defensive card, hits the number 4, which is a 31-yard gain. And these teams on 4th and short keep wanting to trick up the defense and paying off on it too. So we're at the 2-minute warning. This game is not over. 1st and 10, San Francisco at the Seattle 35-yard line. 3 wide receivers split out. There's a quick out to the tight end, George Kittle. He's attacking a 0-rated linebacker, and that's incomplete. Boy, that's a bad break for the 49ers because they got 0 men there. You have all those completions, and even when you get receiver, which they did, Kittle has some great receptions there. He just missed it. Got the 9. It's incomplete in 2nd and 10. Garoppolo, 25 of 41 for 319 yards in this one. He's back to pass again, throwing into the nickel. Richie James is his target. Flushed out of the pocket. So he's going to forego that option and do a little dump pass to McKinnon, just a little 4-yard pickup, and Seattle brings him down. Nice tackle on the play by Jordan Brooks, keeps him from going out of bounds. And the clock rolls all the way down to 1:30. 3rd down and 6 at the Seattle 31. San Fran elects not to take a timeout on that one. Quick out here to George Kittle. Defense is guessing pass. Once again, attacking that 0-rated linebacker. And result of receiver and Kittle, like I referenced earlier, knows what to do with that. 15 yards on that play on flat pass right. Unfortunately, he fails to get out of bounds again. And I think I know what San Fran's doing. They want to save their timeout so they don't have to onside kick. So what does he do here? And indeed, that's what he's doing as he goes to the hurry up. So San Francisco is deliberately holding their timeouts. 1 minute, 7 seconds left in this game. San Francisco, all 3 timeouts left. They're down by 10. 1st and 10 inside the red zone at the Seattle 16-yard line. Anthony's back. Sorry about that. Oh, actually, I probably need to check about being full screen, and I do. There we are. So San Fran has held on to their timeouts, allowed some extra time to roll because they'd like to score and then not have to onside is the presumption I have based on them holding these timeouts. And if they can score pretty quickly here, I like that call. 3 wide receivers, nickel showing blitz by the defense, and they're throwing indeed short pass to the tailback out of the backfield, Jerick McKinnon, but flushed out of the pocket. Garoppolo looking for another target. We have a yak opportunity from the 16, and that's going to be a pickup of 7 yards. Sideline pass to Richie James makes it a 2nd down and 3. He did not get out of bounds again, so 49ers getting the bad break on that. 2nd and 3. I wonder if they might spike it. No, they're going to use their first timeout. So 60 seconds left to go. 2nd and 3 at the 9. I think San Fran was holding their timeout so they wouldn't have to onside, but you can eventually get to a point where you have to burn that timeout and recognize that an onside kick is about to follow. If you, after you've scored here, presuming that you do. So exactly 60 seconds left here in Seattle. Seahawks up at home by 10. Niners on the doorstep of the end zone. 2nd and 3 at the 9. Blocking back formation. Jeff Wilson stays in as tailback. Coach Crowley showing blitz out on the nickel. And back to pass. He's looking for the other tight end, Ross Dwelly, and he's got him into the end zone. Touchdown, Niners. San Francisco, for the first time in the second half, dusts up the scoreboard and cut this to a 1-score game. 45 seconds left here. It's 34-30. Extra point pending. It's a really important extra point. And he's got it. So an onside kick is coming up now because San Fran only has 2 timeouts. They're trailing by 3, an onside kick, and they'll really have a shot here. Big roll. And that's recovered by Seattle. And so that should do it. The Seattle Seahawks should be able to take a knee here from victory formation and put the wraps on this one. San Francisco dominated the first half offensively with a good mix of play calls that sort of befuddled the defense and rolled out to a 24-10 halftime lead. But in the second half, 24 unanswered points by Seattle as they reversed that trend and they started to make the good offensive calls. And they stormed ahead to a 10-point lead, and they're going to hold on here. And that's the final score as the gun goes off here. Let's let the coaches know. All right, so again, your final score from Seattle in this NFC wildcard tilt. The Seattle Seahawks come storming back in the second half. They hold on for the slimmest 34-31 win over a very game San Francisco team. We'll take a look at the stats and keep an eye on our coaches, see if they're going to show up and say hello. As always, I like to get it on the record. No pressure. Really don't want people to feel pressured to come on in. But I'd like them to join if they like. Nobody here yet. So San Francisco outgained them 466-392 in this one. A lot of offense in this game. Still nobody there. Let's take a look here. I wanted to check on something else. Third down conversions were really hurting Seattle early. They do end up 4 for 11. Both teams very successful in the red zone in this one. Jimmy Garoppolo, 45 passes. And so they only ran it 22 times. So 2-to-1 ratio, Jimmy Garoppolo throwing the ball as opposed to running. He did have 2 picks, though.
It got colder out there. It didn't get warmer as the day went on. It got colder.
So let's go ahead. Let's go ahead and take a look at the, I say playoff standings. That's not really what this is, but I am using it to advance, folks. So the Seahawks advance. This is just for my own visual. So that's our 1 seed and our 2 seed that have advanced. The Rams advanced. They are the number 5 seed. So the 49ers were eliminated. So the NFC playoff field can be reduced to this. Actually, we have Jimmy G and Rich Pierce has just shown up. Rich, how are you doing, buddy?
What's going on? Can you hear me?
I'm hearing you just great. Congratulations on a great season and a great game. Sorry it didn't turn out at the end, kind of like you were hoping.
Yeah, I got a lot of respect for Dennis. He's a tough customer. I knew I was going to be living with the Angels and hoping for the dice, and it just didn't work out. I had some good lucky rolls in the first half and just couldn't hold on. So,
you know, it's funny you say that. You're referencing luck. I'm going to go ahead and describe it another way. I felt like, and looks like we have Dennis joining here too, so he can kind of pick up. But I sort of felt like you're saying it was kind of luck. I felt like it was just the opposite. I felt like in the first half, your success was built around, you were doing a lot of offensive blending of your calls that was, I mean, for lack of a better word, puzzling the defense. You were having a great success of getting the calls on wrong with his defense, and you capitalized because of that. And in the second half, it seemed to me the exact opposite happened. And now on offense, the Seahawks seem to make the calls that you were not ready for. Were opposite, calling run against the pass and vice versa.
Yeah, there's no doubt. I mean, Dennis, I've played him quite a few times, and I think his overall strategy is based upon taking what the defense gives you.
Yeah.
And if it's going to be guessing wrong, then he's going to go with the guess wrong call. And I just couldn't connect it in the second half. I mean, he had me off base the whole way, both sides of the ball.
Yeah, I hear you. And then Garoppolo had a couple turnovers. I was a little surprised to see Garoppolo with a 2-to-1 pass run ratio. You passed 45 times, ran 22. Was that a situational response or something you kind of looked at as kind of a pregame plan?
No, I think I needed to throw the ball to win the game. Is what I felt. He's got a good run defense. There's no short gains. He covers things well.
Yeah.
Very seldom leaves things exposed. And I think in the first half, I tried to commit to the run a little bit and have him call run and maybe catch him on a few wrongs, which I think I did.
Yeah,
in the second half,
definitely.
I was trying to run and I was popping on his card and I wasn't hurting him with the run, so he never called run. So I just needed to pass to try to get some yards, and I had a couple stalled out drives and a pick. But that fourth, I think the tail of, you go back and look at many plays, right? 4th and 1 at midfield, I missed that. He came down, and I think he tied it up at that point. And then he had 4th and 8, and he hit the long gain. And it's just. Hey, it happens. I had a couple of long gains on his card too. So, no complaints here. It's just, you try to look at a couple of games. I'm just glad the penalties and injuries didn't really lead to any, unwelcomed outcomes by either team. That's all.
Sure.
Yes,
yeah, I guess it certainly could have been worse. Buddy. There's the man. Congratulations, D. Crowley. You've advanced.
I think, like I said in the chat, it's like a tale of two Jimmies. Jimmy was. I would love to see his stats in the first half because he was freaking unbelievable.
Yeah, he was.
And a lot of that, of course, is the coaching. The Seahawks. I think Rich showed the way to beat my team. In week the last week of the season. Week
you mean 49ers?
17.
Okay.
Oh yeah, 49ers. Sorry, but Rich showed how to beat my team. Is just like try to go over the top. Catch me when I'm using the free safety. The Seattle long pass card is not great.
No.
But this game really turned around after that opening drive in the third quarter.
Yeah.
San Francisco comes right out, hits another bomb. They're coming inside. They're near in the red zone. Throw a guessed wrong flat pass or guess? I think it was a guessed wrong flat pass on Jimmy G's card.
I thought it was guessed right. I could be wrong.
It was guessed right. It was still
Rich? I don't know.
Chance. It was like 2 through 5, 11
but
and 12.
It was low. Yeah.
And then that just gave me the opportunity. I was down 14 at that point.
That's
the
turning point of the game, I think, for sure. Without that moment, because you were down 14, and he not only is he driving, but he got there quick. He was just ready to pound it into the end zone on you just real fast, and that turnover just kind of changed everything. And then old Mo swings in for you. I was telling him that in the second half, your offensive calls seemed to catch him off guard more, whereas in the first half, his offensive calls were catching you off guard.
Yeah, for sure. That was, like I said, he coached that team really well. I mean, I think it picked up as the season went on. There were on one of the earlier shows, Anthony's like, okay, he has a path to the playoffs. It's not for sure, but he can get there if he does this, this, and this. And he did exactly those things. He was like the proverbial team you don't want to face in the playoffs. That's such a tough offense to stop.
Yes.
With 3 really good runners. I mean, Mostert and Wilson both had me worried, and they were hitting those short gains quite a bit. So tough team to stop. Tough.
And they've got the A-rated, flat dudes. Debo and Kittle are scary. Anytime you've got a duo like that, that's scary as hell.
Right, and it's not only that, but then McKinnon can go deep. That key play there, 4th and 5, he decides to go for it.
Yeah,
wide open zone.
You were both doing that. I noticed in this game several times we had a 4th and short or a 3rd and short, and you're thinking run, and both of you tried to catch people off guard and went long in those situations. And I think you both capitalized at least once doing that.
Yeah, I think the San Francisco has kind of the same kind of thing as Seattle, where if you get him zero in zone, and Rich didn't leave it open quite as much as I did, but if you get him zero in zone, there's a lot of chances to hit on that card. Russ is not the greatest deep passer, even though he is in the NFL. He's not the greatest deep passer in strat. He's not carded as a great deep passer, but he's got some things he can hit. And those must runs, he hit that one must run for plus 21 on a 3rd and long. that help keep a drive alive. So I got really lucky in the second half. I'm not going to say it was great coaching, but we both had our moments. We both made some good calls, and these are two even teams. I think that this is a 50-50 game. We play this 10 times. We're each going to win 5. So it's too bad that Rich is out of the playoffs, and I bet you he would have dominated it in the Coach of the Year if he would have gone that route. But
well, I will say this: when a 4-time Super Bowl champion says, "If we played 10 times, he'd probably beat me 5," Rich, I'd take that as a compliment. So
yeah, I don't know if that's necessarily true. I do have a question for the master here, though. You're tied a game up, pending the extra point, and you decide to go for 2 there. What were you thinking?
Yes, thank you.
Well, that's the old psychological stuff. I thought, when somebody has a big lead and they give up the lead for a tie game, that's one thing. But when they're suddenly trailing, I thought it was worth the risk. And, that came through. Of course, the second time, why I went for 2 the second time is to put you down 2 scores.
Yes.
To go up 9 instead of 8. I didn't make that one.
I don't know if that's right.
Oh no, yeah, it was because he was already had gone for 2 once, so he was up by 7 when he got the touchdown. He could go take it to 8 easily, or go for the 2 to make it 9. He did that, which I like that call. I thought that was a bold call. I wanted to ask you about something though. 49ers, when you had this decision, and I'm trying to remember what it was. I had it just a second ago. Doggone it.
3rd and 10 when I ran it at the end. I was ballsy. I mean, that wasn't the smartest call, but when it was still 1-score game, but I was trying. I knew he was going to call pass, so I thought he's got good linebackers, so I wasn't going to bust him. But
I remember now. I remember.
I get a little bit more yards and make a 3rd, a 4th, and manageable. But
I'm curious at the end of the game, so I sort of calculated you were holding your timeouts extra long, and I sort of figured and hypothesized that your goal there was to try to get that score, but keep all 3 timeouts so you wouldn't have to onside kick. Is that right?
I would have onside kicked it anyway because you're going to call run. He's going to throw a flat pass. I mean, he's going to go for the first down anyway.
Okay. So, and either one's fine. I mean, I'm not saying one's right or wrong, but I was curious because it looked to me like you were holding your timeouts, hoping that you could get a score and then still have 3 timeouts so you wouldn't have to onside kick and take that chance. And then when you got down to about a minute left and you got another game, but it just didn't get you. I felt like you kept having the bad luck of not getting out of bounds in that moment. And so I felt like when that betrayed you several times, I thought that maybe that was why you eventually said, all right, I've been screwed too many times on this and it's not going to work out. Let's take the timeout and I'm onside kicking. But it sounds like you were going to do that all along just to kind of make the play. Huh?
Well, I don't know. I think my thoughts are I'd have to start, 2 to 3, 11 and 12. What is that? 1, 2, 3, 4, 16% chance. But I mean, if I kick it deep, I have to hold him for 3 downs. Knowing the crazy guy he is, he'd probably go for it on 4th and 1 anyway. But then he'd punt it, and I'd still be, on my side of the field with no timeouts anyway. So I think that you had to go for the.
Yeah, there's not good options there for sure.
No, not really.
Hey, let me before I let you go. One thing I want to just kind of address you with, Rich. A couple things. One, I wanted to say thank you. We've made reference to it a couple times, but you maybe didn't hear it. I thought you made a real good point that didn't just echo with me, but echoed with several coaches in this league earlier this year when you made reference to, hey, let's be thankful and grateful and show some respect for these coaches that come out and play every single week for us with teams that they're hoping will someday be competitive and take them to the USFFL playoffs. And I thought that was really nice on your part and a good message. We do owe a lot to these guys that come out and play these teams, win or lose. So I like that, and I wanted to thank you for that.
Yeah, no worries. I was going to pipe in. I don't know if it might have been you. I don't know who was doing the forecasting for the playoffs, but
this time it was Anthony.
Was whoever it was kind of put in there and said, assuming. I think it was like Cleveland beats the Jets in week 16. And I'm like, oh man, you can't say that. I mean, you could say Cleveland has an easier path in week 16 or, but you can't. I mean, the poor guy in the Jets. I mean, I think I played him. No, I think I played him this year. I don't remember. No, I did play him this year. Nice guy. He takes him every year.
Yeah, he
and
does.
I think his name is, and
the good news is I was looking at some of the old broadcasts, not from this year, but from earlier years that I hadn't seen in a long time, and saw one with the Jets coach on it talking about that's not just a team to him. He loves the Jets. So at least the 0-16 Jets or whatever are in the hands of a team that loves them enough to have the patience you need with that franchise, and obviously we all hope they turn it around. So,
well, the other coach who is the Bengals coach, I don't know him that well. I don't play him that often. But he takes him every year, and they've had they've had some tough years, and he always played the Bengals tough. He's going to have some tools.
Yes, he does.
He's
been very good with mediocre teams, but he's about to get paid off now because the Bengals look good. and I think right now we're in this zone where I don't think any of us really know yet just how good, but the Bengals could be very scary. So we'll see. And I'm happy for Jeff and hope that Donnie and others get their chance for their teams to kind of turn it around too. So, hey, before I let you go, one of the things I'm trying to do on these broadcasts, especially when I talk to somebody new, is just kind of get my bearings straight from a standpoint of, don't take this the wrong way. I just don't. There's too many people, and I haven't been commissioner, but just for a couple of years. How long have you been in this league? And have you been with the Niners the whole time? I'm trying to remember. It's been the Niners the whole time, hasn't it?
Yeah,
like 2 years or 3.
Yeah, I think this is the 4th.
Fourth.
I was around when it started up. Some of the I was around. When it started up. I think I don't think it might have been. It might have been year 2. I was in there for maybe year 2 through maybe year 5 or 6.
Okay.
And then I was in another league that was, general managing with 53 roster players, and I was just so into Strat. I said I gotta just cut loose. I just can't do this anymore. So I get 10 years off, and then I came back and see if they had any openings, and they did. So
well, it worked out well for us too.
I came back, yeah. So
we're certainly grateful that you did, and congratulations on a great season, and looking forward to seeing you and your Niners again next year. They should be even better.
Yep, and I guess I'll also say most likely on behalf of the rest of the league, you're doing a great job, great support system around you, and just
definitely.
The effort that your people put in as far as playoff possibilities and the stats, and I think people. When you start to take it seriously, people know that that's kind of how we do it in this league. And, you put your little write-ups in there and you send your post file in. So it's a real good league. There's no surprises. The waiting list, you're doing a hell of a job.
Yeah, we've got a lot of things humming right now. We're doing real good. So I'm pretty excited about that. And we'll see what else we can
I think the broadcasting just took this to another level. I think it's pretty impressive.
Yeah. And I think also
we got to be the envy of the Strat world with all the broadcasts that go on in our league. It's fantastic.
We're just warming up, guys. I have these things in my head that I kind of have planned and thinking and scheming about that I don't even want to say out loud until I'm ready to, unleash it, because I want to make sure that some of the things I dream up can be done and stuff like that. So we'll see where we go, but definitely want to continue to try to, use the broadcast as kind of our staple and get people in. So get them more involved. And I know I had an experience in another league. A buddy of mine and I were in a OTP baseball league, and we did 15 separate podcasts that were all an hour plus long. And so we did it over a long period of time, and we would always do it as a live event, and like usually 13 out of 24 at least would come out and listen live, and we'd all enjoy it together. And those that didn't, we'd drop the recording so they could listen to it. But one of the things that came out of it was everybody got to know each other a little bit more, made for, friendlier interaction. It made for people that know each other more, and it just made it more of a community, made it a lot more fun. Everybody kind of commented about it feeling that way. And so that's kind of one of the things I'm trying to recreate here, is where just through meeting people and stuff online and stuff, we kind of get to know people a little bit more. And I think that'll be kind of cool. So
the other one thing about the league is pretty impressive is me and Dennis kind of, I had some computer problems, which I came through here, and I have some travel plans. So I said, hey, you think we can get this game in tomorrow? And he's like, yeah, if we do it early. So, we just posted this thing like 2 hours before kickoff. And as I'm looking at the scroll, spectator joint. I'm like, Does anybody work in this league or what?
I saw your comment on that. I made reference to it on the broadcast, and yeah, it's ironic you asked that today because I'm not working. But my job is such that there was like last Friday I worked a day where I had I take software support calls from home. I had a 3.5-hour window where I didn't get a single call. So this is kind of how I can fudge my way into a little broadcast in the daytime here and there. And I generally don't do that, but come playoff time, the world needs what the world needs, and that's more football coverage. I have to be honest, I'm experiencing now what I experience this time of year every year, which is a little bit of football fatigue. No one can love football as much as I do and still experience fatigue, but it's not just this league. Like, I watch every single game every time, and then I have to juggle my life around that. So sometimes I'm doing stuff with my kids till 11 p.m. so that I can then watch the recorded game till 2 a.m. So my body's like, okay, this is fun, but let's get to summer and we'll start football again soon.
All right,
it is what it is.
Dennis, good job, buddy. I'd say good luck, but you don't need it. Well coaching, and bring it back for the NFC, pal.
All right, I'll do my best. Take care, guys, and thanks again, Tim, for taking care of this.
You're very welcome. Thanks to both of you for stopping by. Have a good day, guys.
All right, bye.